All right, let's jump right in. Picture a chaotic hospital scene. You've got alarms going off, people rushing everywhere, and life-altering decisions being made in a split second. In a world this intense, you might think the most important tool is a scalpel or some high-tech machine. But it's not. It's language. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on healthcare's secret handshakes, the communication playbooks that can mean the difference between. And look, this isn't just a hunch or a few isolated stories. The World Health Organization puts it in black and white. Miscommunication is a massive worldwide problem. We're actually talking about one of the top reasons patients get hurt when it could have been prevented. It's kind of like a silent epidemic happening right under our noses. It's such a simple idea, but it's incredibly profound. Think about it. One misunderstood word when a patient is handed off from one nurse to another, or one confusing instruction about how to take a new medicine, that's all it takes for things to go wrong. The whole system really relies on clear, accurate, and on-time information. So that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you build a system that's safer, that's less open to simple human error? Well, the answer isn't just to tell really smart people to be more careful. The answer is to have a game plan. And that's exactly where these come in. You should really think of them as playbooks for healthcare. You know, just like a football team has set plays so everyone knows exactly what to do when the pressure is on, healthcare has these structured models to guide communication and make sure everyone's on the same page. So what is a communication model, really? Well, at its core, it's just a framework, a script almost. It's designed to slice right through all the noise, the stress, and the confusing jargon to make sure that what one person says is exactly what the other person hears and, most importantly, understands. It's all about creating a reliable channel for information. Okay, so first, let's go behind the scenes. We're going to look at the conversations happening between doctors and nurses, the kind of talk that you as a patient probably never even hear. But these chats are absolutely vital to keeping you safe. So one of the big ones is called I-SBAR. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a 911 call script, but for healthcare pros. When you call 911, the operator doesn't just say, "What's up?" They ask very specific questions in a very specific order to get the most critical info right away. I-SBAR does that exact same thing. Here's how it breaks down. S is for situation. What is happening this very second? B is for background. What's the key context we need to know? A is for assessment. What do I, the provider, think is going on? And R is for recommendation. What I think we should do about it. You see the logic, right? It goes straight from the urgent problem to a proposed solution. No fluff. And this right here, this is where you see the power of having a structure. So on one hand, a nurse could just say, "The patient in room 3 looks bad." I mean, what does bad even mean? It's way too vague, right? But with I-SBAR, that same communication becomes crystal clear. S, Mr. Alley's O2 sat dropped to 85%. B, he has pneumonia and COPD. A, I think he's in distress. R, I recommend increasing his oxygen. See the difference? One leads to questions and delays. The other leads to immediate, potentially life-saving action. Okay, so I-SBAR is great, but what about those moments that are even more intense? I want you to imagine a busy operating room. It's noisy, things are moving a mile a minute, and you absolutely cannot afford a mistake. For situations like that, there's an even simpler playbook: closed-loop communication. It all starts with a very clear, direct command. The surgeon says what they need. Simple. The message is out there. And here's the magic. The nurse doesn't just silently hand it over. They repeat the word, scalpel, as they place it in the surgeon's hand. That confirms the message was heard and understood perfectly. It closes the loop. It's so simple, but it's an incredibly powerful way to prevent errors. All right, so let's do a quick recap of these provider playbooks. You got SBAR, which is perfect for those urgent handovers. You've got closed-loop communication for high-stakes tasks to confirm every message. And then you have other systems like Team Steps, which is like a whole toolkit for team emergencies with things like callouts and huddles. Each one is a specific tool for a specific job. Okay, so we've seen what happens behind the curtain. Now let's switch gears and step into the exam room. This is all about the conversation between you and your doctor or nurse. And yep, you guessed it, there are playbooks for this too. The whole philosophy here is built around this big idea called shared decision-making. And this is a really huge shift in thinking. It's not about the doctor just telling you what to do anymore. It's about you and your provider working together like a team to figure out the best plan based on the medical facts and on what matters most to you. So how do you actually do that? Well, one great model is called the SHARE approach, and it has 5 steps to put you in the driver's seat. Your provider should seek your input, help you explore all the different options, assess your values and priorities, reach a final decision with you, not for you, and then evaluate how that decision is working out later. The whole point is to make you an active partner in your own care. And check this out. Here's another really powerful tool. It's called the teach-back method. And the phrasing here is everything. Instead of asking, "Do you understand?" which, let's be honest, can feel like a test, a savvy provider will say something like, "Just to make sure I explain this clearly, can you tell me?" That tiny little change puts the burden on them for explaining well, not on you for understanding. It's so much more respectful, and it works. And then there are those conversations that nobody ever wants to have. Delivering bad news. Believe it or not, even for something that personal and difficult, there's a playbook. The Spikes protocol gives providers 6 steps to follow. It creates a structure for compassion, helping them handle these tough moments with empathy and a clear plan for what to do next. So if all these amazing playbooks are out there, you might be wondering, why does miscommunication still happen? Well, it's because the real world is messy, and hospitals are just full of roadblocks to clear communication. I mean, just think about it. You've got language barriers, crazy time pressure, the constant noise of an ER, or even just a muffled voice coming from behind a mask. And then you have the hidden stuff, like workplace hierarchies, where maybe a junior nurse feels nervous about questioning a senior surgeon. This is precisely why these models are so important. They're designed to work even when everything else is working against you. Which brings us to what might be the most important takeaway from all of this. Your role. Knowing how this is all supposed to work gives you the power to be a better advocate for yourself and for the people you care about. So here's the bottom line. Clear communication is safe communication. It is not a soft skill, it's a critical part of your safety. And the cool thing is, now you know the playbook. You've seen what good, structured, safe communication is supposed to look like, both behind the scenes and when you're in the room. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. You're not just a bystander anymore. You're an informed player in your own healthcare. So knowing what you know now, knowing the playbook, what's one question you're going to ask at your next appointment to make sure every single word counts?